Hello, friends, and welcome to Miss Sheila's famous Funtime stories. And I try to give you a little hint about what we're going to be talking about today. So I have a hint here, and we have a few friends who want to look at this picture. Do you know what this says? Spring is in the air. Yeah, so have you noticed spring? Is it getting warmer? The days are getting a little bit longer, and maybe you saw some bluebirds or some robins. I saw some bluebirds at my feeder. That was so nice. I haven't seen really many robins yet, but they'll be coming, don't worry. So the first book I'm going to be reading to you today is called Mouse's First Spring. And it's written by Lauren Thompson and illustrated by Buket Erdogan. Mouse's First Spring. One windy spring day, Mouse and Mama went out to play. And there in the grass, Mouse found something glittery and flittery. What can it be, wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a butterfly. Then whoosh blew the wind, and fluttery, buttery, the butterfly flew away. There, under a leaf, Mouse found something slithery and slimy. What can it be, wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a snail. And then whoosh blew the wind, and hidey insidey, the snail hid away. And there in a branch, Mouse found something feathery and plump. What can it be, wondered Mouse. Look, I have something looks like that. Look, said Mama, a bird. And then whoosh blew the wind, and dip, flip, flap, the bird darted away. There by the pond, Mouse found something green and peeping. What can it be, wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a frog. Then whoosh blew the wind, and splishy splash, the frog hopped away. And there in the dirt, Mouse found something pink and wiggly. What can it be, wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a worm. And then whoosh blew the wind, and squiggly squeeze, the worm slid away. And there in a stem, Mouse found something sweet and petally. What can it be, wondered Mouse. Look, said Mama, a flower. Then whoosh blew the wind, and rumply bumpily, Mouse tumbled away. And then all around, Mouse felt something soft and cuddly and oh so cozy. What can it be, wondered Mouse. Smooch came a kiss, and ooch came a hug. It's me, said Mama. Spring is here, little mouse, and I love you. The end. So mommies are always there to take care of their little mice. So you can tell that in spring, a lot of different little animals come out. And also some of the plants come out, and also it's kind of windy sometimes. So we're going to be talking about that in a little while. But right now I'm going to be doing a little story about a big mouse. There's our big mouse. And a little mouse. Big mouse says, "Little mouse, wake up, wake up. It's time to wake up." "Oh, good morning, Big Mouse. How are you today?" "I'm great. The sun is shining and it's nice and warm outside." "You're right. It's so nice and warm out. Why is it so warm, Big Mouse? Just a few days ago it was really cold." "It's warm because it's spring." "How do you know it's spring?" "Because in the spring the sun does shine, sun does shine, sun does shine. In the spring the sun does shine. That's how we know it's spring." "And how else do we know it's spring?" "Well, in the spring the rain does fall, rain does fall, rain does fall. In the spring the rain does fall. That's how we know it's spring." So in the spring we get lots of sunshine, but we also get a lot of rain. Are there any other signs of spring? Well, a lot of flowers grow during the spring. Do you see all the pretty flowers all around us? Oh, there are a lot of pretty flowers all around us. In the spring the flowers grow, flowers grow, flowers grow. In the spring the flowers grow. That's how we know it's spring. Oh, and is there anything else? Yes, birds build nests in the spring. In the spring the birds build nests, birds build nests, birds build nests. In the spring the birds build nests. That's how we know it's spring. Oh, I thought of another sign that means it's spring. In the spring, all the animals that hibernate wake up. All the squirrels wake up, and all the rabbits wake up, and all the bears wake up. Roar! Oh no, oh no! It's a bear! Run, run! And here he is. Oh my goodness, it's so warm outside. The sun is shining and it looks like we got some rain. All the flowers are blooming and the birds are building nests in the trees. And I'm awake. It must be spring. Yay! Take a bow. The end. So those are the things that we look for in the spring. We look for the flowers, we look for the rain, we look for the wind, and we look for all the animals that come out, especially the ones that have been hibernating in the winter. Oh, and all the birds that build nests. Okay, so one of my birds flew down to the ground, so I'm just going to scoot down there and pick her up, okay? Because this one I need for my next story. Okay, this is the robin. They used to say robins were the first sign of spring because they fly south in the winter to go where it's warmer, and then they come back in the spring. So when you see robins, you say, "Oh, it's springtime, I see a robin." So this is called My Spring Robin, and it's by Anne Rockwell. And then it's illustrated by Harlow Rockwell and Lizzie Rockwell. A robin sang a song for me every day last summer. I liked that robin. But in the fall, my robin flew away. My father said it would come back in the spring. So when spring came, I went looking for my spring robin. I saw a bee taking honey from a crocus, but I didn't see my robin. And I looked into the yellow forsythia bush, but my robin wasn't there. My robin was not sitting up high in the branches of the magnolia tree. In the fern garden behind our outdoor table, fuzzy fiddleheads were sprouting in last year's wet brown leaves. These are the fiddleheads coming up, the little baby ferns. But I didn't see my robin there. I saw a tiny toad. It hopped behind a clump of daffodils to hide from me. I looked high up into the sky to see if my robin was flying back to me. Drops of rain fell on my face, and our neighbor's cat ran home. After the shower, I picked a little bunch of purple violets for my mother, and I watched a shiny earthworm wriggle up out of the ground. He's right here. I don't know if you can see him. Hidden. And then I heard it. I heard that song, chirrup, chirly, chirrup, chirly, chirrup, chirly. I knew who was singing that song. It was my spring robin. The end. So this book is great because it has so many of the early spring signs. Robins, and he's pointing to March 21st because that's the official start day of spring. And you see crocus are a very, very early spring flower. And the forsythia bush is one of the earliest blooming bushes in the spring. And the magnolia trees bloom early in the spring. And the fiddleheads come up, the little baby ferns. And the daffodils are another early spring flower. And we talked about rain. We get rain in the spring. And the little purple violets. And then, of course, she sees her robin here at the end. So that's how you know it's spring. And I don't think I told you yet, but spring is my favorite season of the year. And I love it because all of those things come and it looks all fresh and new and pretty. And it just makes me feel so happy inside. So I just love when spring comes. So I'm going to read one last book called Spring is Here by Hillenbrand. Mole, wake up. Is it spring? He wondered. He opened the window to smell the air. Sniff, sniff, sniff. He dressed and tiptoed past Bear's bedroom and stepped outside. He felt mud under his feet. Squish, squish, squish. Spring is here, cried Mole. I must tell Bear. Mole rapped on Bear's window. Tap, tap, tap. Snore, replied Bear. Mole dashed inside and knocked on Bear's door. Knock, knock, knock. Snore, replied Bear. Mole tickled Bear's nose. Swish, swish, swish. See, he's tickling him with a feather. Can you see that? Snore, replied Bear. Mole played his horn for Bear. Toot, toot, toot. Snore, replied Bear. Bear does not want to wake up. Oh dear, sighed Mole. Spring is here and Bear must get up. Mole thought, and then he scampered outside. He gathered, he milked, he churned, he poured, he mixed, he baked, and finally he shuffled into Bear's room. Wake up, Bear, mumbled Mole. Spring is here. Yum, replied Bear, and then he looked at Mole. Wake up, Mole, said Bear. Spring is here. Snore, replied Mole. Poor Mole, he did so much work that he just fell asleep. So we talked about that there's a lot of wind in the springtime, and so sometimes you see people flying kites. So I'm going to do a little felt board with kites. One little kite in the sky, so blue. Oh, let me see. Can I do it here? I got to get a kite up in the air. Along came another, and then there were two. See them? And then two little kites flying high above me. Along came another, and then there were three. Three little kites, just watch them soar. Along came another, and then there were four. Four little kites so high and alive. Along came another, and then there were five. Five little kites dancing across the sky. What a sight to see, way up so high. So that's something fun you can do in the spring. Seek some kites. Okay, and I have one more little thing to do with a little birdie. I think I'll use the bluebird this time. I saw a little birdie go hop, hop, hop. I said to that birdie, stop, stop, stop. I went to the window to say, how do you do? But he shook his little tail and away he flew. The end. So the little birdies are going to say goodbye to you now. And we hope that you enjoy the spring. I don't know, my little bluebird's little feet are always sticking out like he's doing a landing or something. So the little birdies say, enjoy the spring, look for flowers, look for birds' nests, and enjoy your 2 weeks. And we'll see you in a few weeks. Bye-bye, everybody.